Okay, good afternoon everyone. So today Long P will cover what we left off from last week. We still under the topic of the pure precept. Okay, pure precept. Okay, there are 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one is Patimokha. The second one is pure of sense. The third one is livelihood, and the last one is necessity. So these are the 4 types of pure precept that every monk should be aware and understand. Not just Patimokha, not just 220 precepts. Okay, 220 plus 7. Not just that. There are more than that. In fact, monk has more than 1,000 precepts. Okay, 220 precepts only kept in the first 3 of the Buddhist scripture. We have 8 of them for the Vinaya, 8 books of Vinaya. 220 precepts kept in the first 3. The rest is many precepts that we haven't talked about it. Imagine how many precepts we have to observe as a Buddhist monk. And that is why I said being a good monk is not easy. You not only have to know the precept, every one of them, and you have to practice according to that precept that the Buddha laid out 2,500 years ago. And it's not easy. 227, we still have no clue. Too many of them, okay? But keep in mind, it's your responsibility to know. You yourself have responsibility for your own safety and for your own purity, to know what monk can do, what monk cannot do, what monk should do, what monk should not do. So in this session, okay, from last session and this session, I hope that it opened up your eyes about what precepts are, not just the first one. That's what most monks understand, that, oh, I only have to observe Patimokha. No, it's not enough. Okay, so today we are going to cover the purity of the sense, the purity of livelihood, and the purity of necessity, and understand all of this. And at the end, I'll give you the summarize of how this thing can benefit you in the long run as a good Buddhist monk. Okay, so let's continue from last week. Last week we talked about the first one, which is the Patimokha. This one, Patimokkhasamvara. We talk about some of the Monks Precepts. What are they and how can we apply, to our daily life here as a Buddhist monk? Because the Buddha laid out the rule 2,500 years ago. Many of them, originated from the context of the Indian community back then. And nowadays we live in the 20th century. Now a lot of things changed. Like we mentioned about riding the bicycle. There was no bicycle back then. What about Facebook, social media? If the Buddha is still alive, you think he's gonna do something? Come up with the rules of how to use Facebook properly or how to deal with social media among monk community? That's something you need to keep in mind. You cannot just blindly practice like, okay, nothing written in the book, so this thing I should be able to do it. That assumption may be wrong. Okay, be careful. If you're not sure, you ask. We already talked on this on last session, Patimokkhasamvara. And in this Patimokkhasamvara, there are 2 more keywords that come with it. The first one is right conduct, or achara in Pali, and the second one is right venue, or gochara. Okay, so what is the right conduct and what is the right venue? When you hear the word right conduct come with 2 ideas. The first one is livelihood, and the second one is manner, good manner and good livelihood. Okay, which is this one. We will get to detail on number 3. Somehow it's overlapping between Patimokha and the right conduct. So right conduct, what it means by life livelihood and life manner, that actually mentioned in the text. So we will take a look at that together, and also we will take a look at something called the right venue or right gochara. Gochara means the place where you should not go. Okay, do you know the place where you should not go? Or you're not sure? Okay, keep in mind. Okay, so let's take a look what is the right conduct mentioned in the text. Here is the text said, monks who do not make a living, see, living show up here, by giving bamboo, by giving leaves, giving flowers, fruit, musical instruments, and toothpick. These are stuff that imply that it is something maybe valuable, something that benefit people. This is something that the monks back then do to give something to the lay people, hoping that they can gain trust, they can gain faith, they can gain more followers. So if this temple start giving out something, but that temple don't give out anything, so which one would you go? You have one fried rice, you want to make merit. If you offer to this temple, you may get some gift from the monk of that temple. But if you offer to the monk to another temple, you may gain nothing. So people may, consider, oh, maybe I should go to this temple, so I can get some bamboo, I can get some leaf or flower, so I can bring home. Okay, so when you hear the context of the sentence like this, you need to keep in mind that this is the context of 2500 years ago. Why people give out bamboo? Why people give out leaf, flower or fruit? There must be a meaning. Okay, so check it out. And also it said, being a servant or by being a babysitter, being a gossip barrier, this is a wrong livelihood, which the Lord Buddha does not happy about it. Some monks said, because people think monk doing nothing, they just stay at the temple and meditate. So let's say you are a lay people and you have to go somewhere in the city, and today is no one take care of your baby. So you take your baby to the temple and you give it to the monk. You give the baby to the monk. Monk, can you watch my baby for a few hours? I'm going to go to the city and pay my bill. And they said, yeah, I can take care of your baby. Should you do that? Because the house is right next to your temple and you know this family very well. They give you food, they offer alms every morning, and today they just need your help. There's no one watching the kids, and mommy has to go to downtown to do something, so she bring her maybe 2 children to the temple and ask Luang Pi Bidanda, can you watch my baby for a few hours? You
say no. Maybe for different time.
Okay, you keep in mind. Okay, you may run into this kind of problem without knowing. If you don't study, you use your own judgment, you may accept that because you don't see nothing wrong with that. I just want to play with the kid for a few hours, and then later on mother will pick them up. Common sense, monk should help, right? Because you have nothing to do, you just stay meditate at the temple. That's what happened. Buddha did not lay down the rule until someone makes some mistake and people complain, and then complain to the Buddha. The Buddha come up with the rule, and that's what happened. That's what the monk did. Take care of the baby or do something that serve the lay communities, serve the lay people. Oh, can you take this mail and ship it to me? Can you take it to the post office for me today? I'm kind of busy. And you said, yeah, I can do that. So you have take the package. When you go arms round, the lay people give you the package and you go to the post office and mail it for them. You would think it's okay because you know that family, nothing much. I walk to that direction anyway, so I do it for you. Okay, and later on, people start complaining. Okay, more and more monks get complained about wrong behavior. So keep in mind that this is something that the Buddha did not recommend. So don't do that. Okay, and also this one is about livelihood, living, and this one is about manner. We're still talking about right conduct. Okay, another sense, monks who have respect, who act respectfully, who have moral shame and moral dread, who dress properly. Number 1, dress properly, walk backward and forward properly, head bent with eyes downcast. Imagine when you go arms out in the morning, how do you dress, how do you walk? okay, who are devoted, who restrain in internal sense, feel, who are moderate in eating, who constantly practice wakefulness, who are perfect in mindfulness, and who are satisfied with what they have. Do you satisfy of what you have? Who don't stick in the group, who always practice diligently. Ask yourself whether you practice diligently or not, or you lazy to practice, study Dhamma and meditation. Who have respect for higher training in rules and proper conduct. This is not all that we have to know. There are more than this that we have to know and we should know. And who are full of respect. This is called consider right conduct. Do you see? With this paragraph alone, there's so many things that difficult. This is inconvenient life, and welcome to the inconvenient life. Being a monk, you sign up to follow many rules. If you don't know that, now I want you to know that. So many rules. Not only the rules from the Buddhist scripture, from the Buddha himself, but also the rules from our temple. Each temple you stay, there must be rules. So 227 plus rules wherever you belong. And you sign up for that, to be obedient to the rules laid down by not only the Buddha, but by the Sangha, monastic, community. So you see, you have to dress properly, you have to walk properly, you have to control your sense, what you see, what you hear, you have to be mindful when you eat, you have to practice diligently, you cannot be lazy, And a lot of things you are being respected by the lay people, and that is why people expect monks to behave, to be well behaved. That's what people expect. This is the right conduct. Okay. Eat mindfully. It doesn't mean you have to eat 1 meal a day, but eat enough. Eat properly. Okay. Know what you eat. And this is, some dress code that I like to mention. Okay. This is the standard way of dressing. Okay. 2 kinds. This is called hom dong. Hom dong means you put the belt on with one shoulder open. Okay. If you have bag, this is the right way to carry the bag. Don't put the bag over your shoulder and walk around, and that's not the monk's manner. That's the lay people manner. Don't put the bag and backpacking. That's not the monks do. This is how we carry the bag. Okay. And dress properly, okay? Fold it nicely, put it on nicely. And when you go out of the temple, this is what you're supposed to dress. You cover both of your shoulders whenever you leave the temple ground. Okay? Get on the bus, traveling on the airplane, okay? Go blessing someone's house. This is how we dress. And make sure you dress, properly. And what is the right venue? Venue is a place. And this is what mentioned. When you read by yourself, you may be surprised that monks do not spend time with prostitutes. Widows, the lady who her husband died, okay. Effeminate men, you know what it means? Okay, this is a very old English. When people do translation, it's very old English. Basically, we talk about a group of people who not 100% a man. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. And Bhikkhuni is a female monk. Okay. Do not spend time in a place where alcohol is served. Okay, that make more sense. We should be going there. Do not associate with kings, government officers, and non-Buddhist laities by socializing with them improperly. This has to be careful. Okay. For the rule of thumb, okay, if you get invitation to the place like this, you have to be very careful. If you're not sure, you ask. The rule of thumb is to ask your mentor and teaching monk. Long Pi, can I go? Long Pi, is that okay to go to this place? Okay. If people ask you, oh, Luang Pi, Nabras, can you go bless my home? And that home happened to be one woman alone and her daughter maybe. And her husband just died. And you feel, oh, it's maybe nothing. I just go and blessing. This is something, have to be considered carefully, whether you should take that invitation or not. Okay? Let's say you stand by on the sidewalk at the bus station and it was raining and there was a lady drive past by and she saw you standing in the rain and she said, Luang Pi, I can give you a ride. Please come in. Wherever you want to go, I drop you off. Can you go with her? Okay, so be careful. So associate with of government people, king and non-Buddhist, these people can give you trouble. Okay, king and government officer, these people have authority, they have power. If you do things right, it's okay. If you do things wrong, you may cause yourself problem. You may cause your temple problem. Okay, that's happened already many times. Be careful with the people you are dealing with. Okay, but the Buddha suggests that if the people are elite family, okay, who like to take care of the monk, who know how to take care of the monk, then it's okay for you to go with them and to go bless their home or to take that kind of invitation, because this group of people kind of have faith in the Buddha and know how to behave, how to treat the monk properly. Okay, just like our lay follower that you notice in the temple, when they come, they know how to dress, they know how to pay respect to the monk, they know how to talk to the monk. Okay, these people kind of you can feel safe. Okay, when they invite you to go to their home or to give the blessing. So this is the place. There are more places that you should be going. But overseas, people don't care. Monk can go to the shopping mall, monk can go to any restaurant, monk can go sit at Starbucks and have a cup of coffee and read books all day. No one cares. That's not the Buddhist culture. It's outside Thailand. But if you're in Thailand or in the land of Buddhism in Nepal or Myanmar or Laos, many things that you cannot do, the thing that I just mentioned. So you have to be careful. Let's move on to number 2. Okay, then we have a few more. Number 2 is the purity of sense. Purity of sense. Pali word use the word Indriyasamvara. Indriyasamvara. Indriya mean door. Okay, Indriya mean door. What are the doors? Human being, this body, okay, we have 6 doors that we can perceive information from the outside world to the inner world. And those are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind. These are 6 doors that information can come through our mind, come through our body. And this, if you don't protect your sense door well, you will run into a lot of trouble. Hear what the Buddha said. 6 spheres of contact: eye, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, which monks do not train well. If you do not guard your sense door well, observe well, will bring you great suffering. But if you guard them well, okay, it will bring you great happiness. This simple sentence has a very deep meaning. If you remember the second noble truth, everything you learn, I hope you be able to connect it back to the Four Noble Truths. Because the reason why we become a monk, we want to achieve Nibbana. We want to free ourselves from suffering. And the only way to get there is to follow the Four Noble Truths, especially the Eightfold Path. And now we learn about the precept. You must think how precept helped me to get there. In fact, every Dhamma that we learned in the past or the Dhamma that we will learn in the future, you must see this picture. How can this Dhamma help me to get there? Now we're talking about purity of sense. And sense means door, 6 doors. These doors perceive information. And the Buddha get asked one time from the monk, before that question, I mentioned about the second noble truth. What is the second noble truth? What causes us suffering? Tanha. And one monk asked the Buddha, where does tanha occur? And how can tanha occur to us? If we know we can block the tanha, then tanha cannot cause us problem or suffering. But if you don't know and if you don't aware, and then you allow that information to come to your eye, your ear, your nose, your tongue, you yourself create your own trouble. You open the door for the tanha to come into yourself. So these are the answer from the Buddha. He said tanha occur from here, from what you see. The first one, craving for form, rupa tanha, craving for form from what you see, craving for sound from what you hear, craving for odor from your nose, from smell, craving for taste from your tongue, from the food that you eat, craving for tangible object, okay, touching, physical touch, and craving for the mental object, which is mean your thinking. And that is why purity of sense is very crucial for you to be able to live in peace, for you to have less problem in your life, and for you to be very mindful, not allow the defilement or the tanha control your mind by control your sixth sense door. This seems to be understandable, not so complicated, but it's very difficult to practice. Why? Because every time you see something, right away automatically feeling happen or vedana or feeling happen. Whether you like it, you don't like it, or you feel nothing about it. And when vedana happen or feeling happen, tanha happen, is the trigger of tanha. What are tanha? There are three kinds of tanha, right? Kama tanha, Bhava tanha, and Vibhava tanha. Kama tanha, you crave for something you like, human, animal, money, whatever. Bhava tanha, you crave for becoming, for existence. And Vibhava tanha, you crave for not becoming. So get back to study tanha, we already learned that. So when I see object, feeling happen, vedana happen. When vedana happen, vedana cause trigger to tanha. Oh, I see the new shirt. This is the brand new fashion. I like this so much. I like this color. I like this brand so much. Feeling happen. You see, you like, and tanha tell you, go ahead and buy it. Oh, I don't have money. It's okay. Borrow your friend. Do whatever it takes to buy that shirt. Otherwise, you will be suffering if you don't have it. If you cannot own it, you will be suffering. If you own it, then you can be happy. And who tell you to do that? The tanha, kama tanha tell you to do that. You see how dangerous of you not control your sense door. And that is why one of the rules when monks go arms round in the morning, it said you have to keep your eyes, low. Okay, 1 or 2 meters. That's it. You don't just look around and check things out. You keep your eyes low and stay focused to protect, your sense door, to protect your eyes. And when the lay people offering you food, you don't look at their face. You don't even look at their hands. And that's where the tanha can enter your mind. From what? From this door, from chakku vinyan, from your eyes. You open the door to allow that picture come to your mind. Oh, the ladies look beautiful. Her skin is so white. Not only that, she smells very nice with the nice perfume. Okay, smell come to the nose, picture come to the eyes, and her voice is so beautiful. Oh, Lung Pi, good morning, Lung Pi. This food I prepared 4 o'clock in the morning just for you. Her voice also beautiful. So 3 doors already, 3 information already that hit into your mind. If you don't careful, okay, this tanha will cause you suffering. That's the importance of purity of sense. That's the essence of this particular type of pure precept. To protect yourself from the enemy, okay, that can trigger the tanha. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. Very important. This is the example that the Buddha gave. Okay, I think it's quite interesting that related to our story. There was one of family that the wife had a trouble with the husband and she ran away in the morning. By the time that monk's name Tissa, Monk Tissa went out arms round in the morning, and the lady, which is from the rich family, dressed up very beautifully, she ran past Monk Tissa. She did not prepare to give arms round because she ran away from her husband. She ran away and she saw the monk. She stopped and she starts laughing. She's like, her mind is like she gone crazy because she get mad with her husband, and she was laughing to Monk Tissa. And when Monk Tissa noticed, he saw the teeth of this woman. He right away attained arahantship on that spot, because his nature of Monk Tissa, he usually reflect upon asubha, or the ugliness of the body. That's what he has been practicing. And on that moment, because his mind is so pure and his mind is so still, he did not look at anything. He only saw the teeth of the woman. He saw the bones, which is the teeth, and kept in mind his first perception, and standing on that very spot, and he became arahant. Amazing. And a few minutes later, the husband come out and look for his wife, and he asked the monk, "Do you see, Venerable, do you see my wife? A woman happened to walk past by here." And Monk Tissa said, whether it was a man or woman, I'm not sure. That went by, I noticed not. But only that on this, what I saw is a grove of bone. Even though the lady dressed beautifully, but monk noticed nothing. He noticed that body is dirty. He see teeth. He right away he see the whole body. He reflect upon the whole body and he attained arahantship. So he did not even pay attention whether that thing is a man or a woman. That's how you should practice when you go arms round. And number 3, purity of conduct. We touched a little bit on that. Purity of conduct. What is the Buddha means by that? Okay. Conduct in this case mean right livelihood. Number 3, right livelihood. These are something that mentioned in the text that related to our precept. Number 1, monk with wrong desire controlled by greed who falsely claims superhuman state that he doesn't have commit parashik. Everyone's aware of that. And the second one, monks who arrange date of affair to marriage between man and woman commit sanghatiset. We talked on that last week. This is not your duty to arrange marriage to a couple. Okay? You may feel like, well, it should be okay because people have faith in me and I can give them a blessing. I did not expect money in return. I do it from my heart. But here, this is clearly stated in the text that you should not do. In fact, you must not do, not should. The third, monk who say, the monk in your shelter is a perfect one, commit to lajjai. For example, you live in this temple. Temple has maybe 5 monks, and another temple has 10 monks, and many people go to this temple, the lay people, but not many people come to your temple. And you start telling people that, hey, Yom, you know what? This temple has the arahant, has monk who practice meditation very well. You just start telling people, and people believe because you are a monk. So they start come to this temple more and offering you stuff. Okay? No, cannot do. Okay? And number 4, monk who is not sick. If you're not sick, be careful. Do not ask for any food. Find food for himself. If you do that, pacitti, you commit pacitti. If you're not sick, you should not ask for food. But if you're sick, it's okay. And nowadays, you don't ask for anything. You just order online. and 10 minutes later, Pizza Hut delivery to your door. at the temple. Is it the same? Similar, right? Because back then there was no this kind of service provided in the Buddha time, and now you're not supposed to do that. Okay, you go eat at the dining hall and people offering you food. Okay, if you're not sick, okay, you don't ask for food. But if you're sick, it's okay. For the female monk, it's the same. Okay, if you're not sick, you should not ask for 5 food. Otherwise, it's you commit offense. And monks who do not sick, this is also similar. But ask for soup or rice, you also commit tukkata offense. So this may be a minor food, something that you can eat, but you're not sick, but you ask for it. It's considered wrong. Livelihood, okay? Don't do that. And here are another example that maybe help you to understand a little bit better of right livelihood, something that you should not do. Okay, we already talk about arrange people to get married. That's something you should not do. Advertising oneself. For example, in the text said, "Oh, my name is Tissa. The king trusts me. Minister trusts me. You are famous. Oh, last week I went to teach the king how to meditate." You start showing off. You start letting people know that, hey, I am somebody. So you gain trust, you gain credibility, you gain fame. You are popular. And people come to you and offering you more stuff. No, don't do that. Persuading, suggesting, similar. Oh, you should come to my temple. My temple is beautiful, there is air conditioning, you can meditate all day. You shouldn't go to that temple, it's nothing over there. You're persuading people. By deep down in your mind, you're hoping something in return. So that's the idea behind the right livelihood. Making a good living by using this lifestyle to gain benefit, to gain fame, to gain money, to gain whatever it is that Buddha not recommended. Belittling, abusing others. Again, being a monk, you should be polite. Okay, you shouldn't say something bad. You shouldn't scold to the lay people. Okay, this is not the manner. Somehow, some monk did that in the past, and then people complain to the Buddha. Buddha come up with the rule. Okay, so now this is to me is understandable. Being a monk, this lifestyle it should be a kind person, should be a polite person, right? Okay. Hitting a sign. What is it? This is quite interesting. A bodily and verbally act that gets people to give you something. You're giving a sign. Let's say you go to someone's house before lunchtime, they did not invite you, and then you hope to get food from that supporter. To go around 10 o'clock, without invitation, you just stop by and visit, and then you give them a signal that, well, it's about lunchtime, maybe, we should eat something, or do you have anything to offer, or something like that. This is kind of planning, okay, to get food from this particular family, hoping to get food and something else. It's similar to number 6, giving indication. Okay, giving indication is like, let's say you have a phone, your phone is old, and you go to some place, which is the lay people, maybe invite you to their home, and then you notice that this family is wealthy family, and they have many phones in their house. You may say that, oh, you seem to have many phones. Is there anything extra that you don't use? It's mine kind of old. You give them a signal, maybe they will offer you a new phone. If you have that intention, this is wrong. This is a wrong livelihood. You should not do that. You're not being honest to yourself. Okay? Fondings mean you play with the kids of that family. You hold their hand, you hug them, you kiss them, showing the father, mother that you love their kids by hoping something in return. Oh, this monk is very kind, he's nice to my children. Maybe I can offer him something in return. And many monks did that in the past. And that is why one of the rules mentioned that monk not allowed to hold the baby. Not even the baby, even child. even your own son or own daughter. Say you go home and then you are father, you get married before you become a monk, and then a few years later you go home, visit your family, and your kids want to hug you, your children want to hug you, and then you have to let them know that now I'm not allowed to do that. Okay, even your own son. Okay, forget about someone else's son and daughter. You cannot do that. Okay, so let's move on to number 4, utilization of necessity. The text says, monks contemplate. This word is very important. Contemplate with knowledge, carefully, then use the rope. Using requisite without contemplation is like consuming a strong poison. Originally, those who did not know this danger had a great suffering. This has a very deep meaning. Monks, we live life based on the support of the lay people. We don't make money ourselves. Everything we have from the support of the lay people: food, robe, shelter, electric bills, transportation, medical. People pay for us. So everything we have received, everything that people offer, they offer with faith. They make a wish, they work hard, they make money, they buy robe and they offer food for you. You should consume or use that necessity mindfully, otherwise you will owe them. Okay? One of the monks said, using monk's requisite without contemplation is called consuming debt. The more you consume, the more you eat people for food, the more you use rope or buildings or transportation without contemplation, you owe them big time. We owe them, debt. We will be deficit. These are something that the Buddha allowed us to have. Back then, there are only 8 items that monk can have, and that's it. This you can survive. You have bowl, you have water filter, you have outer ropes, you have needle, you have a razor to shave your head, and you have belt, and you have inner rope. That's it. These all we allow to have, and we can live freely for the rest of our life. You don't even have to have temple, because back then monks don't have temple. They stay in the cave, they stay in the forest. They just wandering around from one mountain to another mountain and get food from village people, go meditate in the forest, and when they feel enough, they change the place. They go to another cave, meditate more, go deeper in the forest, see less and less people, less and less communicate with people. But the Buddha also gives some idea of how to do that. Okay, the place should be safe from animal, from danger animal, should be not too far from the village, so you can get some food. If you get sick, someone can help you. If you're too extreme, you go to the very deep forest, you may die. Then you may get eaten by a tiger, or there's no food. If you get sick you get bit by a snake, you may die in the forest. No one can help you. So you have to know how to survive, and these two allow us to live comfortably, modestly. This is minimalism. That's our 8 items. And nowadays, how many items do we have? You check yourself. How many items do you have? Okay, there was a man that he mentioned that he has been living minimum life for many years, and he count how many items that he need to have to survive. Okay, it comes down to 47 items. He has only 47 items, including 1 pen, 1 item. This is called considered 1 item. 1 glass, 1 item. 1 hot water flask, 1 item. Toothbrush, 1 item. Toothpaste, 1 item. All together, he only has 47 items for many years. Interesting. But monk, 8 items. Okay, you don't have to cook yourself. People offering you food to the bowl. So keep in mind. So before you eat, you need to reflect. That's why we chant all the time. Morning, for breakfast and for lunch, we do the chanting to reflect before we eat. You should reflect before you put the robes on. You reflect before you go to bed. You reflect before you do things, before you use necessity. to remind yourself that you are a monk and this thing that you are about to consume is from the faith of the lay people. You are going to eat this food not for decorate your body, not to beautify your body, not to pleasure your taste, addicted to the taste of the food, but you are going to eat this food for you to have enough energy to survive. Then you can practice meditation. That's the purpose. Other than that, it's not the purpose of eating. Okay? So contemplate the time of obtaining, during usage, and time, from time to time you contemplate of what you have. Okay? Try to get back to minimalism. Try to get rid of the item that you don't use. Just keep away. And the example that give in the Buddhist text of how well we should observe precept or sila. The Buddha give the example of the bird protecting eggs. You think of bird or chicken, they protect their eggs very well, make sure that the chicken baby can come out safely. And this is the yak. Yak is like this kind of buffalo. Okay, it's very thick skin and hairs. The yak protect its tail. When the tail gets stuck with the fence, this animal will not move. He will do his best to protect his tail and his hair. This is how monks should be careful and protect your precept with your life. The Buddha tried to give us three examples. And the last one, he talking about a mother guarding her children. Okay? Actually 4. How mother protect their children, just like that. You should protect your precept like that. And the last one, a one-eyed man protecting his other eyes. If you have one eye left, you should do your best to protect another eye. Otherwise, you cannot see for the rest of your life. So observe precept just like that. That's the idea. Okay. So to summarize, we have learned 4 things. The pure precept. The pure precept of Patimokkhasambhara, or the monastic code. The pure precept of sense, Indriyasamvara. The pure precept of livelihood, Ajivaparisuddhi, and the pure precept of necessity or Paccayasannissita. For us to achieve the first one, Patimokkhasambhara, you must have faith. If you don't have faith in the rule that laid out by the Buddha, you will not want to follow and practice, and you will fail the being a good monk. So the starting point for you to success in this lifestyle as a Buddhist monk, you must be willing to follow the rules laid out by the Buddha. So you must have faith on that. You have to believe that, you should believe that this rule laid out to protect you, not try to give you inconvenience. It protects you for you to be better. And there's a reason for that. I will get to that in a moment. And for Indriyasamvara, purity of sense, you must have sati or mindful. Okay, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you touch, sati has to be there for you to be able to success and achieve in the purity of sense. You must have sati. And the third one, for you to be success or have a pure livelihood, you must be perseverance. You must not give up. You must do your best not to do what you want to do. Let's say, like I said, the lay people come to you and can you babysit my children for a few hours? You must be able to say no, artfully. Okay, let them understand this is not your job. Okay, you have to be perseverance on that. And the last one, Paccayasannissita, which is the necessity, purity of necessity. You must have wisdom. Okay, you have to make a good judgment. You must have. It helps you to have a very good judgment in making decision. Whether you should, how can you consume food properly? Is it enough? Is it healthy? Breakfast this much enough? Lunch this much enough? You have to have wisdom. You have to use good judgment. How many pieces of rope should you have? And at night, this rainy season is maybe cold. Do you have enough blanket? You have to be very considerate of your own life. You may need 2 blankets. You may need 1 blanket. Because you guys not the same. You have to know yourself. You may need hat. Some monks don't need hat. You have to be smart on that. Okay, use wisdom in consuming the necessity in life. And here I'm going to give you the whole idea of what we have learned. Pure precept is important. Why is important? Keep in mind. Why these 4 things is important? Where did they take you after you practice all of this? Monks, we're not alone. A sangha means a group of monks. A group of monks, not just one monk. When new monk coming to the Buddhism, when new monk entering Buddhism or Buddhist community, if they don't follow this, they will create turbulence. They will create unpeaceful environment. If you yourself don't follow this, you will be a person who cause trouble to the sangha. Manner, habit, and mindfulness. These are at least 3 things you gain from following this. Monk, you should be polite. You should know how to do things, when to do things properly. And you cultivate good habit by observing this precept, by control your sense, life, livelihood, and necessity. You mindful of everything you do. What you can eat, what you cannot eat, how should you dress when you go out of the temple, this invitation, should you go or should you not go? Mindfulness, making good judgment, making good decision. If you don't have the standard rule here laid down, you tend to make wrong decision. You use your own judgment. So this is the standard way. So therefore, if many monks in the future come and ordain, like you guys from different country, you have different way of looking at life, you have different culture, you have different belief. If you bring your culture to Buddhism, to the Sangha, then it creates a lot of problem. But if everyone follow the same rule, which is this one, 227, not only that, everyone know that what is mean by good livelihood as a monk, but how to consume necessity properly. Okay, everyone help each other to lessen problem and to create a peaceful living environment. And why do we need peaceful living environment? Because these 4 precepts serve here. This is the first step. It preparing you this. If everyone follow this, you help each other to create a peaceful environment. It preparing you to go to the second step. You ordain, why? Because you want to achieve the highest wisdom. You want to achieve something called Nibbana. But you not just all of a sudden ordain today and Nibbana right away. It's too quick. You have to be a person with nice manner, good habits, mindful. Start from something that in your daily life. How you dress, how you eat, how you talk, how you do the show, how you pay respect to senior monk, how you treat the young monk. Everything matters. Once you polite, once you are kind, once you are mindful, then you are worry-free. Everyone who live with you in the same temple, everyone have no worry. Then you are free to meditate. You practice meditate very well in this environment. And once you have good meditation, you move on to develop your wisdom. The first step, you develop only body and speech. Second step, you develop your mind. And the third step, you develop your wisdom. And once you have wisdom, one day you will experience something called Nibbana. And this is the goal of someone being a monk. This is the main purpose of Buddhist monk, to achieve Nibbana by following the Eightfold Path. This is here. This is called the Trisikha, right? Sin, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. But what we have learned in the past, from last week and this week, only the first step. You see the picture? Let's see anything else. Yeah, that's it. And another thing is that how does observing these 4 precepts can help you to decrease your suffering or get rid of the cause of suffering. especially this one. We already talked about Tanha, right? Tanha is the second noble truth that causes human being suffering. And Tanha occurs because of you not protect your sense door well. So keep this information in mind. It's very important. If you don't wash your eyes when you look at the phone, look at the iPad, look at the computer, you keep watching that. You open that door and you allow the defilement to enter your mind. And then you addicted to that. Oh, it's okay, 5 minutes, I watch movie. And tomorrow 10 minutes, tomorrow 15 minutes, tomorrow 1 hour. And you still feel that, you still feel like it's still okay. It's not okay. It's already enter your mind. The defilement already enter your mind because you open the door. Oh, I like this movie. I like this actor, actress. Beautiful, handsome, excitement. See? Eyes, ears hear the voice. Eyes see the picture. But this is something that we live in the world that unlike in the Buddha time. Buddha time there was no social media. And social media come with danger. It had benefit, a lot of benefit of course. It also have danger, especially monks who get involved in technology. You open the door for everything. Hope I open up your eyes and get you excited with me as well. Many things that you don't know, and the thing that you don't know that you don't know. That's scary. Okay? บูชาพระกันเนาะ อรหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภควา พุทธังภควันตังอภิวาเทมิ พุทโธเมนาโถพระพุทธเจ้าเป็นที่พึ่งของเรา สวันขาโตภควตาธัมโมธัมมังนะมัสสามิธัมโมเมนาโถพระธรรมเป็นที่พึ่งของเรา สุปฏิปันโนภควโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนะมามิสังโฆเมนาโถพระทรงเป็นที่พึ่งของเราด้วยโปรดเกณฑ์กันนะครับสาธุ So rejoice in everyone's merit. Okay. สาธุ